What's up, everyone? It's the interview queen Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
Oye, te habla tío Sabio Vega. This is Sabio Vega, and you watching True Heel Hit a mi manera o pa' la calle.
Hey guys, this is Thunder Rosa, and welcome to True Heel Heat.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Romeo's Twitter for AEWramble episode 184. And the Grammy goes to reviewing last night's February 5th? Yes, February 5th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite as only we can. And to do that, of course, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the man of 57,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of AEW and Mr. Tony Khan, and of course, his amazing Yankee fitted. He's Jimmy Macram. How are you doing?
Hello, ladies and gents. All is well.
No. Well, I didn't hear any of that because my headphones decided to cut off, but I see the facial expression. Oh, it was you? I didn't know if it was me or not, or if it was you. I was like, it's usually me with my headphones are weird. and it cuts off. So I was like very confused for a second there. See, you're talking, but I still don't hear you.
No, that was me.
There we go. There you go. He's back.
We're off to a roaring start. It's gonna be awesome.
All right, we're only 5 minutes in, and we're already off the rails. Usually, we're off the rails because of stuff you did say, not because you didn't get to say.
It's all good. It's all good. Positivity.
Yeah, we got some things to be positive about after last week. I see this. We appreciate when Tony Khan watches the Ramble, because last week we were not nice about the quality of AEW Dynamite. We held no punches in regard to the quality of last week, and then this week we got a good episode. But we're going to discuss last night's episode from Atlanta, Georgia, with all of you. We appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. You can also sound off in the live chat if you're with us live. If you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comments down below what you thought about this episode of AEW Dynamite. But if you're with us live, we'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, and of course AEWramble, you can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. We've been putting in the goals in the chat because they have that now for our YouTube channels, to put in goals for the super chats, where we've been hitting a lot of them. I put today goal. It was like something new to try out. It's a trial period, but I was thinking about like a AEWramble Q&A. Like where members and Patreon backers after an episode of AEWramble get to access basically any question in regards to wrestling. Did you cut your mic out again, or was I talking too long? Oh, there you go.
Talking too long. That's a pretty good idea. I don't hate that idea.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool one to go with. But yes, let us know in the chat with those super chat donations if you wanna see that. You can do that by helping us hit our goal in the chat today. But of course, we'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible as well. But we got a lot to discuss with AEW Dynamite. We also are coming off the heels of WWE Royal Rumble last weekend, so we want to hear Jimmy's thoughts on that. But I see we got a couple of comments already in the chamber, a couple of our members in the chat as well, like Power Driver Finisher. Saw him earlier today in the Weeds chat joining us. He says all of Harley's wins should be from Muppet Mercedes. I love Muppet Mercedes. I was going with Monet Muppet, but Muppet Mercedes is better.
This is very true. Does he get bad equipment?
I totally agree with your assessment of that segment. Your initial reaction, what you messaged me last night, if you would have shared that with everybody else.
Yeah, once this thing is done, once Mercedes beats Harley, obviously, they should just be together. They should be a thing. I'm not sure how. Maybe Mercedes finally accepts her as her lackey, but they definitely need to be together. So Harley needs as much TV time as she can get. And that's 50% less Mercedes talking.
I think it should be like a stipulation for the match. Like if Harley loses, she becomes her personal assistant.
That could be fun. That could be fun. I like that idea. Sold.
I'm sold. Once you said that to me, I was like, yeah, this is too good. Like these two, the Money Train song segment and the segment last night is probably the two best backstages that Mercedes has done since she signed here.
Oh, certainly. Listen, she's I'll be nice. We're gonna be nice. Mercedes had a nice little run. We're not gonna shit all over again. Let me know when LeRon Ford shows up, by the way. He's a Mercedes Monet super fan. I forgot to trash him for his takes a year ago.
Why are we trashing people? Why are you looking? You freaking YouTube bully like I'm looking for.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Because remember, I had to give you the number for December. So then I was going to December shows, and I saw his name like 3 or 4 times. He hates Mercedes. I can't believe Mercedes. I'm like, that's who you are. I remember you. You that nigga from a year ago. I remember. I ain't trashed yet, though. I got you. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it.
I owe you. Yes. It feels a YouTube bully.
I got you. Show up. You want CP time. Where is he?
Where you at?
You gotta be black with a name like LeBron.
What?
Ain't a white guy named LeBron.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't know we were going to have to pull this out this early.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
LeBron Ford, LeBron Jenkins, LeBron Jackson. There's no LeBron fucking McGillicuddy. Like, stop it. You know exactly what time it is. Don't put this on me.
Do you know any McGillicuddies?
1. 2, because of Beulah. 1 is like...
Beulah McGillicuddy. That's the only one I know. Oh, man, that's funny. He said, I'm looking for him. Where he at? Where'd he go? I saw him talking shit in December.
I got you.
Should have been talking shit in December. You was feeling good. You had your Christmas presents all planned out.
Talking shit about
You ain't know I was gonna come back in February with something. That's how you feel?
Always. I don't let anything slide. Some people say it's a character flaw. I disagree. You don't think so? You'll be happier if you say so. I wouldn't know.
Are these people doctors and therapists?
Right? I should say that next time. Who the fuck are you? Bitch, you work at fucking McDonald's.
Oh my god. We're off to a roaring start, ladies and
fucking
gentlemen.
Hair technician giving me life advice. This is insane.
We're off to a roaring start. Roaring start so far. Roaring start. We do have a
insanity.
We do have a super chat donation here from Alexander Fitzgerald. Thank you so much, Alexander. Thank you for joining us today. We always appreciate the support. So we hand the mic over to you so you can.
Oh, speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my God, Siobhan. What the hell is wrong with you?
Alexander says, thick Mariah Toni Storm automatically made this Dynamite a 5-star show. More of this, TK. Toni Storm was a key to a lot of the stretch of good shows last year too. So,
we're putting that on her.
She was around. She was around, and then she leaves, and we had a really bad stretch last year.
Okay, I'm not against this take. We'll see.
Next
week's gonna be a test. Next week's gonna be a test. I'm calling it.
Yeah, because they'll probably not put any Mariah and Toni because they'll feel like that's the go home angle, and they'll probably give us like a video package.
Lord.
I feel like we need like one promo back and forth between the actual timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May before Grand Slam. I think that's all we need as the cherry on top of the build.
I agree with that. I'd like for it to be in the ring. Give Mariah one last bump before she loses that belt. God damn it. It's a goddamn shame. I want to cry.
Hey, she got the accolade at least. We also got another super chat donation from Genesis, a new name in the chat. Thank you for joining us today. We always appreciate y'all.
I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Genesis says, "Oh, this show slapped." Slap emoji.
You sure this is not Genesis J?
Genesis J? Maybe. Could be Genesis J from a different account.
His name? It's an awful name.
Yeah.
No offense. Genesis is fine. Genesis J stinks. That sounds like a porn star name. Or like a superhero maybe. Or a stripper maybe. Genesis is good. Genesis J, that's good. Nah, you're doing too much. Yeah, the show was really good. I think it was quite a bit.
You know how we were off to a good start Oh, there you go.
Hey.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Genesis J. Sending us another super chat donation, showing us some love. We appreciate you. That's why we always
Listen up, you prick.
See, I care about y'all at least enough to remember your awful names.
Why are you this way? Why are you this way?
Misery loves company. I feel terrible. Lord.
Misery loves company. I feel terrible.
Oh
man, you always know how to start off a show very well. I will give you that. I will give you that. We got a bunch. I see a couple of new faces in the chat as well. We got Sofa Kits, who's laughing their ass off. We also got Brandon James. He says, "Does he got bad equipment?" No, we just sometimes
got bad equipment. Does you got bad English? I don't know. I'm just going to assume things happen. Don't put it on me. I'm gonna be nice. I promise. If you're new here, I'm not this mean all the time. It's a bad day. Wrong side of the bed.
You know when he always starts off like this? It's usually when Dynamite's good. When Dynamite's good, he's in a bad mood.
Yeah, because I can't spend the next 2 hours trashing the show. I got to trash something. Trash y'all. I'm joking.
Quality content we're delivering here.
I'm joking.
Can't trash the show, we trash your audience.
I'm joking. Mostly.
Oh, we got Alexander Fitzgerald who says Atlanta deserves an AEW pay-per-view after last night best Dynamite crowd of the year. Pretty strong. I was gonna say there was another crowd that I liked this year. But yeah, this stands out. This does stand out. I will give you that. We got MCats who says, "Can we get some pasta SP3 about Mark Williams trade? Sad to see Westside Connect leave, but hey, we need chip number 18. It was the right move. We needed an athletic big man to join the team because we had no big man at all after the Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic trade. But it's Luka Doncic, so we'll figure the rest out later." And we figured it out. We used one of our I don't like using 2 draft picks because we got Luka Doncic for 1. So I don't know about using 2 to get Mark Williams. I don't know how desperate we were, but apparently we were by using 2 draft picks to get Mark Williams. But I think he's going to play well with Luka because Luka always plays well with athletic big men from the Hornets as well.
I know there's a collective bargaining agreement, which typically prevents you from outside interference or outside prosecution from the government and parties like this. However, this trade needs to be investigated. I'm not sure what Trump feels about basketball. This shit needs to be investigated. This is some egregious shit here. First of all, the trade is horrendous. It's horrendous in and of itself. And then you didn't talk to nobody else. You didn't shop Luka Doncic around. Come on, man. There's some tomfoolery going on here. Can we acknowledge this? There's some bullshit going on. Some bullshit going on here.
Yeah, they're friends. Rob Pelinka, Booker of the Year.
This cocksucker, what's his name?
Nico Harrison.
This cocksucker's gonna have a job with the Lakers in 2 years. At the latest.
Assistant GM. Rob Pelinka is going to become president of basketball relations, and then he's going to move into Rob Pelinka's position as GM.
I can see that because there's some egregious shit here. This is all-time bad trade. Anthony Davis is great. He's now one of the 3 best players in the world, and younger. And more healthy. What are we doing? This is insanity. Stop it. Knock it off. This is some bullshit here. Hey, congratulations. Lakers have bought another 10 years of relevancy. From the depths, somehow it's just magic just happened. This happened. Who knows?
That's what it looked like. What, a decade ago? A decade ago when Kobe was on his last legs and our draft capital wasn't looking good. And then when we did have draft capital, we were making stupid decisions like Lonzo Ball over Jason Tatum. Like our future was not looking good. Like maybe like 7-8 years ago before LeBron decides to come on. But the last two generational talents that have come to the Lakers just it's like a whirlwind.
Insanity. Luka Doncic of all people. And nobody can give me a good reason outside the fact that he's lazy. That's not a thing. I don't.
He's 270 pounds. No, he isn't.
No, he isn't. I'm looking right at him.
He isn't. That's the best built 270 pounder I've ever seen in my life.
This is such bullshit. Whatever. I don't think the Lakers win a chip, but fucking Luka Doncic, are you fucking serious? I'm so annoyed. Fucking bamboozled.
Yo, Rob Pelinka booked last night's Dynamite. We're gonna give it to Rob Pelinka.
Oh, you know how big of a fan Cash is, right? Of Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
The kind of luck this poor bastard has. He has, before this is a month ago, maybe, had booked a flight to Dallas to watch the Mavericks on the 8th tonight.
Drop my light.
Oh my God. I went, you poor fucking bastard. Enjoy watching AD, I guess. Good Lord. That's outrageous. This is insanity.
I'm like messaging my nephew, who, you know, if you guys have watched FMC, I think I've mentioned it here once or twice. He's like a stylist in the NBA, but he is his significant other, his girl, his fiance is Kyrie's sister. So he's a big Dallas Mavericks fan. Yeah, Kyrie Irving's sister is my nephew's basic baby mom and girlfriend and fiance. So basically he's a big Dallas Mavericks fan now. He's like sitting courtside at Dallas Mavericks games. So he put up a clip of Kyrie in the game the other day, and I was like, you're gonna love AD on the pick and roll. He was like, he sucks. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, he's averaging 26 and 12. I was like, that's great. He was like, I hate him. I couldn't even respond to that. I was like, trust me, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be all right.
That's insane. I feel bad for Dallas. I usually don't feel bad for fans because they're awful, but I do feel bad for Dallas. Jesus.
It's crazy. That trade is one of a kind. But we wanted to give you the chance. Did you have any thoughts, any comments on the Royal Rumble as well?
I do want to once again help the world by saying there's a difference between like favorite and best, between good and enjoyed. I thought the Royal Rumble was fantastic. I would have made none of those decisions, by the way. Not one. Not Charlotte, not Jay, none of them. But that's my own preference. Yeah. All in of itself, it was fantastic. I thought it was booked splendidly. Though I will say this. Is Jay like Dragon level over? I watched that entrance to Raw. Where I was like, what the fuck is this? When did this happen?
I found the better comparison because I didn't like the comparison to Bryan or to Kofi Kingston. It's Jeff Hardy. It's Jeff Hardy without the mistakes.
Fair enough. I can see that. Yeah,
it's that groundswell. It's that groundswell of, oh, this is a popular mid-card guy. Oh my God, everyone loves him. Oh my God, he's the most over guy in the company. Like that type of thing that we saw from like the end of 2007 throughout 2008 into 2009 with Jeff Hardy. We've seen that from 2023 to now with Jay.
Yeah, it's very fucking impressive. I watched that Raw entrance where he ran back.
And yeah, the crazy part is he's kind of has made some mistakes in the past. It's just he's gone a longer stretch than Jeff ever did without him.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not compare Jeff Hardy mistakes to other wrestlers' mistakes. Unless it's fucking Chris Benoit. But yeah, Jay has made mistakes. He's now the most over wrestler on the planet. I don't know where this has come from at all.
Another good analogy was Sat Iniyangi of Wrestle Talk. He was texting me and he compared the only black guy on Wrestle Talk right now. Just to put it plain. Sorry. But Sat he made the comparison to Jey Uso to Eddie Guerrero. And from the promo on Raw, I got it more. I got it more from that than when he explained the comparison. I understood what he was saying, but I was like, I don't see it that way. But when he did the promo and he talked about, I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I could do this thing. That's Eddie Guerrero to a T. That was Eddie. Eddie didn't think he could be a single star. Eddie didn't think he could be a main eventer, a WWE champion. But it was the belief from the fans, the belief in himself, the belief from the company that got him to the point where he became the WWE champion. That promo on Raw, that was an all-timer right there.
It was a very heartfelt promo. I'm on board. I wasn't on board afterwards. I was really annoyed, but I'm on board now for Jay and Gunther 76. Sure. Whatever.
Opener of night 2 of WrestleMania. Or opener of night 1 of WrestleMania.
Absolutely. I don't see how it closes anything. Knock it off. I don't believe you. Romeo thinks it's going to close. It's not. It isn't. It's not closing anything. And another thing. No, I should bring it up. Since I can't shit on Dynamite, I'm going to shit on this. Shit on more people. Enough of these people feeling bad for Charlotte. Oh my gosh, she poured her heart out, and these fans, they booed her. Her whole big build up to her return was her sitting on a yacht and drinking champagne, and now she wants to come and be Miss Oh, woe is me. Knock it all the way off. Absolutely not. Boo, boo, boo. I'm sorry. She'll be fine. I'm assuming she'll be okay. She'll get that WrestleMania check, and she'll be fucking fine. Enough of this. Feeling bad for Charlotte.
And the ridiculousness of, she saved it. She saved it. She realized she could play that. I was like, no, not really. She was still trying to play babyface after that. And that didn't work. And her just doing the Queen Charlotte Flair gimmick, that's not going to work long term either. That's the same thing. Like, all these horsewomen have evolved except for this one. This woman still is the same character she was in 2016. Imagine if Becky Lynch was the same character she was back in 2016. Imagine if Bayley was the same character she was back in 2016.
It's insanity. It's pure motherfucking insanity. Now, if she had I don't understand why Triple H just do the fucking thing they did for him when he got injured. They did the whole. What's that song by U2? What's that song by
Beautiful
U2?
Day.
That one where he's working out and talking about coming back. It was like inspirational. This bitch is drinking champagne on the yacht. Why would I feel bad for you ever?
Or even what they did for Seth right before he came back from the knee injury, or what was it, before the Money in the Bank match? They did the whole thing with him working out in the gym, and you saw the brace on and stuff like that. She was posting that on social media. Just make a package out of that.
Yeah. Or not. And just turn her heel again. Because listen, no disrespect. It comes natural. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I don't know. I'm just saying it comes natural. Right? It's like, ew. Yeah. I'm not sure this is baby. You just sound condescending, quite frankly. You don't really sound like this. Yo.
You give condescending. You don't give baby face to me.
You can boo if you want. Like, ew. Thank you. I planned on it. What?
I didn't need your permission for that, ma'am.
Sorry. Enough.
That was my intention from the beginning, actually.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, she'll be fine. Eventually. I think somebody's got some common sense to go. She's not a babyface ever. Never. Yeah. Sorry.
I think they figured it out by how she came across on NXT this week.
Oh yeah,
where she was much more of the cocky her cocky character. But I think she needs to kind of make some slight alterations to like make it a little bit unique. Like Mercedes in a way is still the same character she was in 2016, but because of the stuff that she experienced outside off of the camera, from leaving WWE, coming out on her own, the CEO character is a little bit different in context to the boss character, because she's kind of going out on her own without the machine now. The boss was a part of the machine. The CEO is making her own business a part of the outside of the machine. So that's a slight difference. It's not too much, but it's a lot more than what Charlotte's done since 2016.
Yeah, she needs some real work. I'm not entirely sure what that would look like.
She looked different, but there's nothing about her character that looked different.
Did she look different? You're making this up in your head, because everybody told me that nothing happened. Listen. I'm not knocking it. I don't understand why I have to not acknowledge it.
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing, I thought she looks fine now. I thought she looked fine before. It's just not the same face. I don't know what you want me to say. No disrespect.
That's not the same human. Pretty sure.
Sith Lord? Awesome.
We got Greg who says Flayers are not baby faces. Rick was a great baby face to me.
Well, Rick's
elderly Rick.
Like Charlotte, Rick is insanely charismatic, as is The Rock, as is every all-time heel. Charlotte's not really an all-time heel. She's just not likable. No offense. I don't mean to be rude. It is what it is.
She's a great in-ring performer, but yeah. I think that the heel heat that she has, I agree with you. It's mostly because she's unlikable and pushed too much.
Yes. And unlikable on screen. She might be a wonderful fucking person. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah. She seems like a wonderful person off screen.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't care about that though. I'm watching TV, if you don't mind. This lady's not like, I don't know what you want from me.
It's like I'm watching TV here, Jones. What are you doing here?
Like, sorry. Oh, yeah, I heard about the Andrade thing. I'm a little concerned for him. I mean, Lord.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, not. I don't know. I don't know about your future now, pal.
Yeah. I mean, it was going fine. It wasn't going great, even to begin with. I can't see it going better.
To be fair to him, though, he left AEW on good terms. Well, after he smacked Sammy, but
and deservedly so. I don't know who did what, but anytime you smack Sammy, I know you're in the right. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Don't let Tony Khan fool you into thinking he's not a spiteful billionaire. He absolutely is. They all are. Never forget it.
You left me to get a mid-card push and win a title on Twitter. Fuck you,
Jack Perry in no time. Fuck out of here.
Fuck you, sir. Fuck you. Should have never talked to Paul. All right. Enough WWE. Let's talk about last night's AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite took place from Atlanta, Georgia. I think we've said it enough already to start, but one of the better crowds for Dynamite in a while.
Indeed.
We kick off the show. They kick it off like WWE's been kicking off a lot of their weekly TV shows. When we see the stars arrive, we see Ricochet arriving at the building, as well as Swerve Strickland. We see that Prince Nana has the Jimmy Rave embassy robe with him. So that is going to become a key MacGuffin later on in the show. So I love how we went full circle here. And then we get to Renee Paquette, who is outside the building with Switchblade Jay White, who just arrived. She asks him about his recent friendship with Adam Copeland. White said that it's a relationship being built in real time, as there's no history between the two, but there is some between FTR and himself. White has to rely on some he might not have expected to in regards to the Death Riders. Right on cue comes Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and Pac. They pull up on Switchblade. It looks like Switchblade is outnumbered. He starts counting the numbers, but he counts 3 extra because Rated FTR have his back, and the brawl is on to kick off the show. They start outside of the building. The brawl makes their way to the arena. They fight over there. We get Marina Shafir. As soon as the brawl breaks out, Marina Shafir literally picks up Renee Paquette and carries her away from the fight, which spills out into the arena. I instantly messaged Jimmy at this point. I was like, that popped me. And literally, this was like 3 minutes into the show. Well, last week, I did not message Jimmy at all because there was nothing worth me messaging him about. But we had that. We had the brawl gets out into the arena. Everybody's hitting big moves. Pac the other Death Riders keep stopping Jay White from hitting the Blade Runner on the AEW World Champion. We also get Adam Copeland. He comes in, he makes the save when it looks like Claudio and Moxley are about to double team Switchblade. He comes in, he hits a big spear on Claudio to help the babyfaces stand tall. We then get Switchblade on the mic. First you get Adam Copeland on the mic, who says that he wants his matchup. He wants an answer to his challenge to Jon Moxley for the AEW World title at Revolution. Moxley makes his way over to the microphone. He grabs a mic and he says to Cope that he deserves nothing. So his answer is no. White then takes the mic. He says that he has another offer for him. How about he breathes with the Switchblade, choking in a pool of his own blood? White issues a challenge for an anything goes Brisbane brawl at Grand Slam. White and Cope versus Moxley and Castagnoli. It looked like that match Moxley actually agreed to. They said they'll see them in Australia. This was a fun, chaotic start to Dynamite, and by far, in my opinion, the best segment with the Death Riders on TV in about a month and a half. It feels like quite some time since we had this much fun with a Death Rider segment. This one was a chaotic start and the best way to start the show. AEW does well with these chaotic starts, similar to the Omega and Ospreay one a few weeks ago.
Yeah, this was really fun. Of course, we could use a little more spacing. I don't like the Death Riders showing up right before Edge New show up. That looks weird. But all in all, I thought it was really well done. Shafir carrying Renee up to safety was fantastic. I thought it was a nice bit of character work. It says a lot without saying a lot. Still don't know why she gives a fuck so much. You said it's because she gets TV time. That'd be a terrible reason for a killer. All right, sure. That aside,
the killer who wants to be on TV. I mean, cool character motivation.
What was I gonna say? Right. This Mox character is all over the fucking place. He wants no part of fucking Edge. We want no part of Edge. We can fuck Jay White up and Cassidy and Hangman up at the same time, but we want no part of one-legged 70-year-old Edge. All right, sure. Whatever you say. All right. And if so, why are you having a tag match? Was it just about the belts? I thought this was a grand goal. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into it. In and of itself, in a vacuum, this was all solid. And it's nice to see Jay White continue this push. He's easily the best part of all these segments. Always. It's not that close. Jay White is fantastic.
He's so good. He's just so good at everything he does, whether it's on the mic, his charisma, his presence is all there. And I feel like he's getting more over, especially as a babyface in this whole being involved in the whole Death Riders thing. So he, after segments like this, you have to be like, okay, you got one glimmering light in this awful program.
Yes, put the belt on Jay White. It's not gonna happen. Don't even think about it. But you can hope.
I was thankful he didn't make the challenge to face Moxley for the belt himself, because I was like, I don't see that working out for you. I was like, this one I can see you getting the win. I didn't. Under my two nitpicks would be that it doesn't make sense for Moxley to turn down the challenge It also doesn't make sense for the tag team matchup. I would think that they would want to tie that in and be like, if they win, then Cope gets his matchup or something like that, just to tie up the loose end of that whole thing. And then that could be like, okay, Moxley. Then if Moxley accepting the tag team match challenge, it's like, oh, I'm not scared to face you, but you got to earn it. You got to earn it the spot to face you. So that changes his character motivation and direction there. So yeah, that if they would have cleaned that up a bit, and I don't understand why this is a tag team match and not like an 8-man tag, because I thought this whole angle was to set up like it being like an anarchy in the arena or something like that. Because no matter what happens, this could be the best version of Cope and Switchblade versus the Death Riders ever. It's not going to be better than Omega and Ospreay versus Fletcher and Takeshita. So it's always going to be the second best tag team match on this show. At least making it an 8-man makes it different. And I know it's going to be a plunder brawl and all that. That will make it different in that case. I will give them credit for that, but you could make it completely different by adding the 4 other guys. I'm going to have to need a reason why this is not an 8-man tag.
I got one for you. This is what Moxley do. I've reconsidered my no to your request. I will whoever, if you guys can beat us, whoever pins whoever gets a title shot. If Jay White wins the match, you get a title shot. If Edge wins, you get the title shot. He's going to cause some descent in the ranks. That's my on the fly booking.
That actually sounds smart. That actually sounds smart, and it's kind of to the thinking, and it doesn't also make sense for Moxley to turn down the challenge, because dude, you literally just accepted a challenge against 3 other challengers like a month ago.
His character's changed so fast.
Like, why are you scared? Why are you scared of Copeland for?
Am I right? And they be calling him Copeland and not Cope anymore?
It feels like they have realized that this is. You got to slow burn this to for people to accept it. People still ain't gonna accept it, but you got to at least ease into it a little bit more than they were doing.
Here's hoping. Good Lord.
I would hope so. But we shall see. Next up, they did announce that at AEW Grand Slam Australia on February 15th, it will be Kazuchika Okada defending the AEW Continental Championship against the Hounds of Hell, Buddy Matthews. This comes off the heels of their interactions on Collision over the last couple of weeks, where Matthews called Okada a bitch, and Okada was like, "I'm no bitch." And then he saw Lexi staring at him, was like, "I'm no bitch." Great stuff.
Clearly, it's top-notch writing there. Tarantino, I think. Good Lord.
Yes.
What?
Okada's great.
Mercedes is giving Okada a lot of cover. Ospreay is so far and away past the rest of these two. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
We got Alexander talking about the first segment, saying, to be honest, this was one of the better D-Writers segments in a while. Got straight to the point, opened the show, and got the crowd hot.
Fair enough.
Yep.
D-Writing gets everybody hot.
D-Writer. He's a D-Writer. It was Donald Glover. Good stuff.
I'm no bitch.
I'm no bitch. I'm no bitch.
Riveting shit here, absolutely. This is Flair and Dustin.
Called him a bitch because he kept dunking him. He's a bitch. Makes sense to me. Next up, we got Will Ospreay is supposed to be going one-on-one with the member of the Don Callis family. This was a mystery heading into Dynamite. Ospreay makes his introduction to a good reaction from Atlanta, and then Don Callis comes out and he introduces the newest member of the Don Callis family, the Ospreay Killer, Mark Davis.
Oh my fucking God. Good Lord, this is egregious. This is some egregious
Mark Davis got some heat though. He comes out to some
sure
boos from this crowd. They start chanting, "You sold out." Calix explains on commentary that that Aussie Open, he signed Aussie Open 2 years ago because Kyle Fletcher was given power of attorney while Davis was in the hospital. So Callis now Callis now owns Davis. Excalibur said that this must mean Davis is doing this under duress. That explanation is beyond insanity, but hey, he tried.
What the fuck? Holy shit, that's insane. What? Awesome.
We get Ospreay. He tries the quick start. He starts slapping Davis across the face, but Davis uses his size and power to get the better of him. He gets a big charging, sliding forearm in the corner, and then he followed up with chops in bunches, just blistering the chest of Ospreay. We get palm strikes in the corner from Davis, who look for a superplex, but Ospreay escapes. He takes out the knee and then hits Pip Pip Cheerio. We get Ospreay in control during the break, but Davis responds with a big release German suplex and then a curb stomp. Davis took too long to follow up, so Ospreay was able to hit a handspring corkscrew kick. He then followed up with a slingshot splash to the outside. He's able to hit a series of hook kicks and then follows up with an os cutter for a near fall. Callis nearly jumps into the ring as he's scared that Davis was going to lose that one. Ospreay looks for the hidden blade, but Davis fires off with a lariat. Ospreay no sells initially, but was struck down with a lariat and then a massive jumping power driver. He jumped on Ospreay's back into the power driver. We get Davis ripped off his middle turnbuckle and tried to drive Ospreay into it, but the referee took notice of it and stepped in between. The distraction was enough for Ospreay to score with a charging hidden blade. One hidden blade, 1, 2, 3. Ospreay picks up the victory here in what was a good opener to the show. We get post-match, Ospreay gets on the mic and he says it's like a party here in Atlanta. And since Callis is a party pooper, he has a new best friend backstage who he's teaming up with at Grand Slam, and the music of Kenny by God Omega hits, and he comes out to a big ovation from the Atlanta crowd. Callis scurries a raid through the crowd and then up to the stage area while Omega walks past a down Davis. Omega talks to Davis and says, man to man, he has no clue what Don Callis has over him. It must be scary, but help is there, and there are people he can trust. Omega says he'll wrestle in 10 days with Ospreay, but he got the itch to come out and say hello to the fans of Atlanta. Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita looked to charge out from the backstage area, but Callis held them back. We get Omega said that they can do this right here and now, but if not, hop on a jet and start training for Australia. It's been a long time since people could feel what Omega felt in 2019, what he felt in 2020 and 2021, 2022, 2023. But now that he's back, everyone can feel that feeling once again. This match next week will show what the future is, and it's right here in this ring with Omega and Ospreay. He says, well, he must bid you adieu. So if you know the words, sing along, goodbye, and good night. And they give this man just the most insane amount of pyro for hitting the go home line. It even surprises Omega, where he looks like he almost had a heart attack with how much pyro. These two guys are just insanely over together. The Omega powers looking good here on the show. And Omega really didn't say anything or added anything, but he's just so endearing. It seems like the fans just love anything he says at this point.
It's my least favorite part of the night. Relative ease. First of all, Hollywood fucking getting Mark Davis' spot on Dynamite again. Of course. You knew it was going to be some bullshit. Then he wrestles him for, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 minutes, however fucking long it was. It was fine, but of course it was too long. All Ospreay's matches are. The Omega promo afterwards, as you said, he didn't add anything new. I thought you got it right the first time. He didn't say anything, like, at all. But he's over, so there is something. But mostly, this was painless. I have no real issue here. I'll take it. I will fucking take it. if we could move on, perhaps, from everybody not named Will Ospreay or Takeshita or Kenny Omega, that'd be great. I don't need Mark Davis. I don't need Cal Fletcher. I don't need Ricochet. I don't need Ospreay's hairstylist. Don't need his fucking nanny. I don't need all these people who get jobs because they are friends with Will Ospreay. Good Lord. Enough. That pyro was egregious. Kind of feels like they're trolling him. Enough. He must be Roman.
So you want to feel like a superstar? All right, we got you.
Fucking flames. All right, take it easy. Yeah, this is fine.
The Ospreay verse, as I'm starting to call it, the Hollywood Ospreay verse is
Lord. Insane.
Hey, Don Callis family though, best heel faction in wrestling.
Who else is on this list? There's the Death Riders. There's the Judgment Day. There's not a lot of competition here. No, they're not. Because Jacob and who? Doesn't matter. Jacob.
It's not a faction. They took their name. They snatched their chain. How they snatched their chain?
Jacob Fatu is the best heel faction in wrestling. That's a fact. It is what it is.
Jacob Fatu and who? Who knows?
Sorry.
He's not even a heel faction. He's one person. He's a nuclear wasteland. It's a wrap. I need him to become the WWE champion by Raw after WrestleMania. I booked it already. Booked it in my head. Do it.
And keep the homie too. You can keep what's his face? Yeah, guy. You can stay. I like your presence. Cartoon.
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous. I'm here for it.
We got Alexander who says TK blew all of his money off for the week on Omega's Pyro. Probably.
It's a lot of goddamn pyro.
That was a lot of pyro. Big Man Dog says, is Mark Davis the modern day Brutus Beefcake?
Yes.
Which one of Hogan's friends was like an actual good wrestler so we can compare him to Kyle Fletcher?
Like an actual friend of Hogan, not somebody Hogan was using or.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good wrestler that he got a job. Not his nephew. Not Beefcake. Good Lord. This is a rough one.
Not Knobs, not Sags.
Shit.
Not Duggan. Like what? This list of Hogan friends, it's like it's egregious.
I wonder if that's on purpose. You can just stand next to these bumps so you look even more like
you see me on the best worker in the bunch. We got a recap video for the history between Swerve and Ricochet. I thought this was really well done. The video package that they put together, just documenting. They had like clips of them from CZW and stuff like that, going over everything that's gone down over the last couple of weeks between the two. Starting with the toilet paper brigade, and then everything that's happened since then with the attack with the scissors. So good stuff there. Then we get the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, accompanied to the ring by MVP. This Atlanta crowd loved these guys. These guys were the coolest thing on the goddamn show. They look like $1 million. They got the whole crowd chanting, "We hurt people. We hurt people." And then you got West Side Gun in the front row, giving MVP a dab. He helped with the theme. MVP says this is the official announcement from the Hurt Syndicate. Asks the crowd to stand for the standard of excellence, Shelton Benjamin, and the almighty Bobby Lashley, the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. MVP said that he'll keep this short as they have a plane to catch for the Super Bowl. That actually got them some heat for once. They got a couple of boosts for that. He puts over Private Party, who are talented people, but were in the wrong place at the wrong time. MVP put the locker room on notice. If you're an athlete or champion, when they choose, they will hurt you and take your title. Now they're open for business. And if you want an opportunity, they'll accept it. The lights go out and we hear the music of the returning Gun Club. The Guns are back. Austin and Colton. They get a good pop from the crowd. Loved Bobby Lashley's Bobby Lashley. Shelton Benjamin. They didn't budge. They just kept looking at the hard camera. Didn't even turn to these guys. Austin said that they mean no disrespect. They're also businessmen and want to talk business. MVP says they aren't dressed as such, but respects what they want to do. They want to do this as men, so he invites them in the ring. Austin and Colton get in the ring, and Austin introduces themselves as former AEW World Tag Team Champions, and they've waited 2 years for their rematch, and now they're back. Colton congratulates them on hurting people. That's the job description. It's what you're supposed to do. MVP appreciates the courage and respects their father, which is the only reason his men haven't choked them out yet. So next week, the Hurt Syndicate, he says, we'll accept their challenge. So next week, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the Hurt Syndicate versus a couple of ass boys. They walk out the ring, walk past them. MVP gives Austin Gunn like a look like, I will murk you like anytime I want. I just have to snap my finger. Austin then gets on the mic and he says, they're goddamn right, they're ass boys. And he hits and he says, and if you ain't down with that, they got 2 words for you, and it's guns up. Crowd responded to them. Crowd was into the Guns here. This was a good segment to set up a tag team title match for next week. I have no complaints.
I mean, this is a good segment. Obviously, MVP is great. I heard the ass boys. Wait, what are the names? The Guns. I thought they were good here. I felt like they felt like real people instead of caricatures that they frequently do. This is an odd choice to bring them back to lose. Maybe we do agree to losing to the Hurt Syndicate, right?
I mean, they were not gonna be back into like any prominent role right now. So them losing to the Hurt Syndicate, I don't think this hurts them that much.
Certainly fucking not. I mean, they're lucky to have a job, but that's not the issue. No offense. They also did this with the Hounds of Hell. We'll get to that later. This build to lose. It feels odd. I'm not complaining. It's one of my favorite things ever. Who was that? Anna Jay and who? She had a big fucking promo that she lost to Abaddon.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things. I remember it forever. So yeah, it's curious, but it works for me. I guess I'm here for this.
We got a super chat donation once again, this time from Will Chisholm. Good to see you in the chat, Will.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Will said, well, Roman and Rock gets all their family jobs. Why can't I? LOL.
It's very true. Good Lord.
One of
them is Jacob and one of them is fucking, what's his name? Mark Davis. I think his name is unremarkable. Oh my God. Mark Davis. It's a plumber. It's a plumber name. Good Lord. Mark Davis. Oh. He's not terrible. He's just good Lord.
He's a good wrestler. We got another super chat donation here, this time from Genesis once again. Thank you so much, Genesis, for all the support today. We always appreciate that.
Tony Khan! This is also on you! Because you can stop this!
Yes, indeed, you can. Genesis says, I'm mad at myself. I went from this to this. Sorry, I love Bullet Club Gold.
Are they still part of the Bullet Club?
Yeah, I think because they all use the guns up.
Where the fuck were they earlier? Fucking Jay needed help. Why is Jay relying on strangers?
This is true. Well, they just came back and they was like, Jay, you got it. You good? Oh, you good with Cope and FTR? We got some titles to win over here. He's like, all right. I feel like this could be a direction to go though, where it leads to maybe a Jay White versus Bobby Lashley matchup.
I'd be down for that. I gotta be honest. I'm not loving the way Bobby Lashley's been used here. But it helped Shelton, so it's a win. But Lashley always felt bigger to me. Like he's beyond whatever this is. I think that though, I appreciate Bobby. Maybe it's by choice as well, because we know these guys have a hand in their creative. But he's using his star power to push the group instead of himself. I've noticed. I'd rather you didn't do that. I appreciate looking out for Shelton and MVP, because would they be on the same level without Bobby? Fair point. It's a fair point. We'll see how it goes. We go. Thank you so much, Genesis. You've been showing your support. Anyone new joining us, send those super chat donations. We set the goal at 10. And if so, we're going to try out trial period AEWramble Q&A, where we'll be doing it for members and Patreon backers. Basically, any questions you got, we'll put up a post on our community tab as well. But it will be a live stream, probably following an episode of AEWramble, where we'll answer any of your questions in regards to pro wrestling, whether it be about current, past, present, all time, whatever it wants to be. It's up to you. But we got another super chat donation here from Alexander Fitzgerald. Thank you so much, Alexander, for the support. We got to give you this.
You fucking mark!
Alexander says, I'm dead. Laughing emoji. Not plumber Mark Davis. Come on down to plumber Mark Davis for all your plumbing needs. He does look like a plumber. I mean, I can't say you're wrong. Everything about him, his build, his demeanor, his name, everything about it is just regular guy. Good Lord. Fighting Will Ospreay, who looks like he stepped out of a video game. What are we doing? He's my friend, bruv. I don't give a fuck. Lord. Where's Tony Khan? Show some spine. I'm listening to this guy. Say you don't understand what he's saying, and then now listen to any other ideas. It's my new move. It's Mark Davis, bro. Yo. Sure. There you go. Thank you. I love that. He says, Big Man Dog says the British bloodline, the Commonwealth bloodline. What the fuck? Who are these people? Good Lord. The United Kingdom. We got Renee Paquette is backstage. She's outside Mercedes Monet's locker room when she's joined by Mercedes Muppet. We got Mercedes the Puppet. She's joined. She said that Harley Cameron is going to be live in concert this Saturday on Collision. Cameron slides into the camera shot and says, "What a great idea!" and knows that Monet wasn't a dummy. Monet herself walks in from behind in this shot as Mercedes Muppet and Harley are going back and forth. She interrupts all of this and asks, "Are you stupid or are you dumb?" I love when she asks that. I'm sorry. Mockingly, she congratulates Cameron on her first win in AEW. Renee asks her, like, "What do you think? You did say that she needed to win one matchup to get the matchup with you." Monet remembers how she felt winning all of her titles, and she says, "This one here, it says that I'm the greatest TBS champion of all time." Harley the whole time is mimicking her with the Muppet. We get Cameron. She says Cameron is nothing but a loser and rips the puppet off of her hand and says that she is staying off the money train. Monet leaves, and Cameron tries her darnest to flip her off, despite Renee her trying her best to make her stop. Even as Renee is signing off, Harley's still trying to give the middle finger. This is your weekly reminder that Harley Cameron may be the most entertaining person in wrestling today. And please don't tell anyone outside of wrestling, because we'll lose her, because she can make a lot more money outside of it. Is your mic cut again? Did you cut your mic?
No, I'm good. She tried that already. It didn't work out. So she's here, and I'm glad she's here. She's fantastic. She's hysterical. She has made Mercedes watchable outside of the ring. Let's call it a win for everybody. Mercedes had like 3 good outside the ring segments in 7 months, and now she's had like 2 out of the last 4 weeks, all because of fucking Harley Cameron. You're welcome. You're welcome.
We believe in you, Harley. We believe in you. We got in the chat Genesis. He says Harley too damn funny. I love that. Greg says Mupsadies. Mupsadies. We got Myron Kidd who says AEW should sell these Mercedes puppets. I mean, they would probably sell a bunch if they did.
Do they really do that? Like, they don't sell like Orange Cassidy book bags. They don't sell fucking Penta masks. I don't see it.
Well, I knew they weren't licensed to make the Penta mask. WWE, they bought the license. It was like, oh, no problem, we do that. But I knew they weren't licensed, or the people that made the masks weren't giving AEW the license to make the. But I agree with you. Like an Orange Cassidy book bag, that seems like. Why not?
Obviously, no. I don't know. Listen,
sell it with the T-shirt. Put the T-shirt in the book bag. Sell it as a pack.
I'm not in the business of making billionaires more money, so fuck them. But it's just a thought.
Orange Cassidy sunglasses, Switchblade leather jackets,
Swerve clan hoods, or no.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I was so annoyed last night. All these posts. 2 black men in the main event of Dynamite during Black History Month. Like, this coon? Are you fucking serious? This is insanity. Why is this not a bigger story? It's insane to me. I'll stop. I'm gonna be nice. We're gonna be nice. Because it's a good wrestler.
Nice.
And that's all that counts. Nice. That's all that counts. It's being a good wrestler. You can say whatever you want about any black woman you want, as long as you're a good wrestler. Whatever.
Renee Paquette is backstage now with Hangman Adam Page. She asks him why he was looking for Swerve Strickland last week. Page says that it was a moment of weakness, but he won't address it again. And he asks her to never talk about that ever again either. Paquette asks about the potential regret on his face when he learned that Christopher Daniels' in-ring career was over. Page looks high in the air, like he doesn't want to look Renee in the eye, and says no. He says that that's what happens when you take on the Hangman in a Texas death match. Max Caster is then shown off camera and tells Paquette, can she wrap it up? He's been waiting forever for his promo. Page asks him if he has a problem. Caster told Page that he respects him, as he's too busy with his open challenge to fight him right now. But it'd be a shame if he put someone like Anthony Bowens in the hospital, or he ended Billy Gunn's career, which he should do, like he did to Christopher Daniels. Page didn't bite, so Caster thanked them for their time and went to Scurry Array. He says, I'm going to go to my car now. Page says, it's okay. I'll follow you there. Caster again putting his foot in his mouth and has to run off, and we would see what this chase would lead to later in the show. What did you think about Max Caster just putting his foot in his mouth, being a jerk and an asshole? It's one of the better character changes that we've seen on AEW television as of late.
It's way more fun than it should be. I do. I can't believe Max Caster is LeBron's here. Sorry.
Popped.
I popped. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Max Caster is great. I've enjoyed him so very much. And this Best Wrestler Alive gimmick works so much better when it's as ridiculous as it is right now. It's splendid.
So good. So good. So good. We do have LaRon with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, LaRon, for the support. As always, we appreciate y'all in the chat.
Why you so crazy? Take it easy. Take it easy.
LaRon says AEW should sell the Mercedes puppets, but they don't even sell the TBS title that Mercedes carries everywhere, even for her mainstream TV appearances.
Yes.
You had some things to say about this super chat, and then you had some things to say to LaRon. I'll let you go ahead.
They should sell Mercedes puppets, obviously. LaRon, you are clearly a big Mercedes fan, so I don't remember exactly. So I'm asking a question. I want to be clear about this. A year or so ago, when Mercedes signed, me and SP3 were having a conversation about her versus Becky Lynch drawing power wise. I was right, obviously, always. But I remember you going even further than him and saying that Mercedes was the bigger draw and it's not close. Was that you? I'm just asking. I don't remember exactly. Was that you? Was that you? I'm just asking. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm wondering. I'm asking a question. Because he said it's close. It's not, obviously. It's Becky by a mile. But you said it wasn't close the other way. He's wrong. You're ridiculous. Was that you? That was you. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. We block this person? Schizophrenic or something. Clearly. Insane. I accept your apology. Insanity. Good Lord.
It's the sincerity in which you asked. Can we block this?
I'm just wondering, please. I don't want to hurt the rest of the members by having to read this nonsense.
I'm storytelling. There you go. Pay off. Pay off.
We always give it. How'd you come to that conclusion? I want to know. What made you think that?
He went full dates and everything. Like December of 2023. You said this.
I'm just wondering. Why would you think that? Why'd they come to your head? Whatever. It's all right.
Well, why would you ever say such a thing?
What? Why?
Wait, he really blocked you? You really blocked him?
How?
I didn't block it. I didn't block you on here.
Yeah, you get blocked. I'm not touching anything. If I'm trying to touch something, Michael's off. I'm not touching anything.
We got King Potato says Jimmy got a death note for all of his ops.
We haven't seen Becky in AEW. We saw her in NXT, sir. She did better numbers than The Rock, if I remember correctly. Right? If I remember correctly. Better than Toni, better than The Rock.
No, Rock did the best numbers since like 2021.
Did he do 798 for the show?
Oh yeah. I'm thinking about when the original that fake number came out.
Yeah. I mean, come on. It is what it is. I don't know why we're against this. It's the hair. It's the red hair. I don't know. I don't even like Becky like that. But facts are facts. I like math like that.
All right. You ready for the next matchup? We had AEW International Champion Konosuke Takeshita teaming up with Kyle Fletcher, the Don Callis family, to face Brody King and Buddy Matthews, the Hounds of Hell. Fletcher and Matthews kick things off in the matchup. We get commentary. It gives commentary a chance to put over both Australians ahead of Grand Slam next weekend. Both trade groundwork and a series of pin attempts. We get Fletcher narrowly dodging a PK before Takeshita tags in. We get a series of go-behinds led to a blind tag from King. We get some hard chops from Fletcher and Takeshita to King. They fight, and the fight spills outside as the Don Callis family are seated against the barricade, and Brody hits his big double running crossbody onto both men. The crowd chanted one more time, so King eventually stacks both men on top of each other and then gets the running crossbody once again. We got the Don Callis family in control when we come back from commercial break, isolating Brody. Eventually, Brody is able to make the hot tag to Buddy Matthews. Buddy Matthews is moving like a blur in this ring. He was moving really fast. He connects with the Meteora off the top ropes for a near fall. The crowd is completely hyped at this point. He misses a curb stomp, so Fletcher then hits a half and half, but he ran into a corner knee. Matthews went to end things off the top, but the sound of the coin drop of Kazuchika Okada hit, and the distraction nearly led Fletcher to attempting a brainbuster before Matthews slipped through with the Nando's kick. Brody made the tag, and he hits the cannonball dropkick combo, but Takeshita is able to make the save. Eventually, Takeshita and Fletcher are able to isolate Brody. We get a series of moves. After they take out Matthews, they send him into the barricade on the outside. Fletcher wants to brainbuster on Brody, but it takes the help of Takeshita, and we get an assisted spiked brainbuster for the 1-2-3 on Brody for the Don Callis family to pick up the victory here in what I thought was an awesome tag team matchup. Like once, especially after the commercial break, but really from Brody hitting the crossbody against the barricade. This went full throttle. We got high impact moves on both sides, but most of all, this was the rare Dynamite matchup where the winner was at least somewhat in doubt. Yes, probably the Don Callis family were the favorites, but there's no denying that the Hounds of Hell are being pushed right now. And the fact that they pushed these guys that probably are in the main event of the next special to the limit here, it shows something that they have a bright future. And for now, they could take this loss, but in the future, they need to pick up some wins because they can be a legit challenger for the Hurt Syndicate. But this was a hell of a matchup here. What did you think?
Yeah, really good match. Takeshita is splendid. I forget because he's been on fucking Collision mostly, but he is fantastic. And obviously, got a lot of love for Brody and Buddy, who put on a fantastic match with Andrade on the first episode of Collision, which got the same star rating from my friend as fucking Ishii and Jon Moxley. I'm never letting that go. Good Lord.
You literally bring it up anytime we talk about Buddy Matthews. Like you literally
see that match? What a match that was!
And that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
Moxley and this
that's now
thumb having a match. Are you serious?
That is now 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Moxley and a thumb having a match that's better than Andrade and Buddy. What are we doing?
I didn't say better. I said on the same level.
Good Lord, I'm about to have a stroke. Yeah, this is really good. This is really good all around. I could have done without the Okada stuff, but it was really good.
Yeah, I would have liked if there was like just affirming what was that? Who was it? Okada behind that? Was it Callis behind it? Like I was just confused. Like at least if Okada like comes out after they lose and he's laughing, you know that it was Okada. But Callis was saying he didn't have nothing to do with it. So I was just confused on that. And yeah, it was only 4 matches on the show, but it didn't feel like they were, even though like I think the first hour of the show only had 1 match. I think this match starts at like 9 or so. So I think the first hour only had 1 match, but it did not feel like there was any wasted time.
No, it was a really well-paced show.
We got another super chat donation here from Genesis. Thank you so much, Genesis. Always appreciate the support. We got this one. Genesis says, wow, translucent black. Really was holding them black. Translucent black. Translucent black. I've never heard him referred to as translucent black.
What did he even do? He said leave. Buddy and Brody have been incredible for forever. What are you guys talking about? Boy, they really turn on you, huh? Once you leave, they fucking turn on you. Good Lord.
It goes both ways. Once you leave AEW, the AEW fans curse you out. And then once you leave WWE fans be like, oh, you don't exist. You died. You died to me.
You died. Fair enough.
Translucent black. Yes, Triple H don't see color.
What?
Triple H says he doesn't see color.
He only sees talent.
Yeah.
And says.
Apparently, right?
Jay. All right, I guess. I like
and how dare they try to leak a story saying that they had this plan since the beginning of January. You're telling me you booked the winner of the Royal Rumble to lose to the champion he's gonna challenge a week before the Royal Rumble since January? That was the plan?
Are you saying the people who leak this are providing false information? Are you saying this is what are you trying to say? I thought don't be trashing your colleagues, sir. These are wonderful people who are doing the right thing. You mad because your predictions all went in the shitter because they went with Jey Uso and winner of the Royal Rumble? It happens. You had a rough go.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. It was not what I predicted at all. For the Royal Rumble, and I was totally fine with it. I think the men's Royal Rumble was I know it's probably recency bias, but I think it's like a top 5, top 10 men's Royal Rumble match.
Yeah,
I think the way that it was booked, it had all the things I want from a men's Royal Rumble. I want to laugh. They had eye show speed. I want mid-carders. I want mid-carders to upper mid-carders being used very well. You got Braun Breaker. You got your Jacob Fatu highlight. You got Joe Hendry getting a spotlight in the match. You got Penta being the Iron Man and stuff and doing tag team moves with Roman Reigns and stuff like that. I want to see the main eventers come out and have big stare and have all the star power in the ring. You had the succession of Roman and then Cena, and then Punk comes out, and then Seth comes out, then it's Drew, and all it is like it was just firing on all cylinders. And then I also want a Rumble that has replay value for stuff that has nothing to do with what's going on TV. And I've literally had to watch this men's Royal Rumble match back like 3-4 times because of the whole Drew McIntyre controversy. That's what makes this, huh?
Yeah, it's so weird.
But watching it back, it's obvious it's your boy. Your boy LA Knight was wilding. He was wilding in that match. He was like, I'm not involved in any of these stories, but I'm gonna get my shot. Fuck out. He was like, I'm in here for 5 minutes. He's in there for 5 mintes.
Insanity.
There's people that's in this match for 40 minutes. He's the only guy that hit all 5 of his signature moves. Only guy. I literally watched this shit back like 3 times. I was like, this nigga definitely is the one. I love how people was trying to be like, oh, it was Logan Paul that Drew was. No, I was like, no, it was not. I was like, you want to know how we know it's not Logan Paul? Damian Priest, who has to eliminate, who's like right here, who has to push someone who's right here. And then you have Logan Paul and LA Knight right here. Why does Damian Priest, if the people are right here, go like this and push them, yet also budging LA Knight at the same time? Like, he literally could have pushed Drew out the ring without touching LA Knight and Logan Paul. He chose to nudge him because he was trying to get himself over.
I'm trying to get himself over. It's been over for forever. I get your point.
Get yourself over in the match. Get your shine.
I get your point. Jesus. Yeah. Poor bastard. I just feel bad. Hey, at this point, time to start taking some risks, is it not? Is it not time to start taking some risks? Going with the flow ain't been working. Fuck that.
Nah. I mean, I rationalized this whole thing, and I was like, yeah, if I'm LA Knight, I would feel a certain way. Literally in the summer fall of 2023 is really where the rise of LA Knight took place. But at the same time, that's also where they really started pushing Jey Uso as a main event talent. So you had 2 guys who were relatively the same. They were upper mid-card guys who got over off the basis of the popularity of a one-word gimmick, and they were given main event opportunities. one kind of sticked with his and was still involved in the bloodline, while LA Knight kind of flirted with the main event scene, and then they positioned him where they needed to in the upper mid-card to mid-card with the U.S. Championship. Meanwhile, Jey Uso, they kind of were positioning him in the same way where they gave him a short run with the Intercontinental title, but then he went right into a main event program with the bloodline that just propelled his popularity even further because he kept getting the final entrance past after Roman Reigns, because Roman was like, hey, I want him to be on the same level or viewed on the same level of me, so he's going to come out after me. So that just propelled his popularity even more. So a guy that was kind of like this with LA Knight in 2023 is skyrocketing and winning the matchup, and I'm only in here for 5 minutes, and I've lost the U.S. title, and I'm just
Nakamura.
I'm insert babyface A against the bloodline at this point. Like,
come on, man. Come on, I'd be tight too. Drew got to get the fuck
I'd be
over.
tight. I agree. I'd be over it at this point.
Yeah. Hey, he'll be all right. Maybe. We'll see how it goes.
It's tough in WWE right now, man. Like, you can't push everybody. I think that people are learning that.
Yeah. Goddamn shame. But hey. I mean, what do you like? Yeah, if I'm Triple H, I'd have the same response to LA Knight as that I have to you and the rest of these people. Talking about putting myself in the Hall of Fame or LA Knight complaining about it, whatever. Then I just put 7,000 people in the fucking building for the Royal Rumble. Would you all suck my balls? What the fuck are you talking about? I think I know what I'm doing. Beat it.
This is what we do. We get backstage. We see Samoa Joe and Hook are walking backstage. They are looking for the Patriarchy after being attacked by Christian Cage on Collision with the metal briefcase. We get Joe and Hook power walking backstage with Joe hell-bent on revenge after being laid out. But Hook is the one who has some advice for Joe. The trainee has become the trainer in our buddy cop film. Hook gives him some advice that fury leads to being furious leads to mistakes, and he was like, how dare you use my own advice against me. They were going to leave when Joe says they'll send a message when they walk into the Patriarchy's locker room. They see that Christian Cage is not there, as is Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. They say they will leave, that Christian's not here, but then they said they'll send a message first. So they attack Kip and Nick Wayne. We then pan over to the door where Christian Cage is there to see what's going on, and he doesn't help. He doesn't help at all. And literally, the live crowd can be heard during this segment. They just uproariously laugh in response to this segment. You just hear a buster of laughter. You see Joe and Hook leave the room, and then finally Christian walks back in and demands, what the hell just happened? Shoving away the cameraman.
Fantastic.
The greatest chicken shit heel of all time, Christian Cage.
Oh. I'm not mad at that take. This was fantastic. I feel like we've been here before, but this was fantastic. Not in this particular segment, because that was brilliant, but this feud been here a little long. But
yes,
it's great. More of that.
It's been going on since like October.
Good Lord. Oh, I wasn't that interesting. Jesus. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's been a while. We got a couple of people here talking about the whole LA Knight saga. We got Power Driver Finisher says SP3 right about LA Knight. We also got King Potato who says LA Knight trying to stay afloat in a sea of relevancy. Trying his darnest.
Loaded. Like them last, 10 people in that fucking Rumble. It's fucking insane. Like, you want from me?
Yeah.
You want from me? I do what I got to do, goddammit. Even Priest got 5 minutes. Like, he's in trouble too. Like, it's rough out here in these streets, nigga.
Yo, Drew's in trouble. That was like people try to people made so much of him being upset at the person trying to get over in the matchup, but didn't get the real report of the whole Daily Mail report about Drew being upset. It was like he's also upset because his program is Damian Priest. And like I had a whole debate with one of my coworkers at Sports Illustrated because he didn't understand why people were reacting like you just did and why it was described in the report as a nothing matchup. He was like, I feel like that's an insult to Damian Priest. I was like, it's no insult to Damian Priest. I was like, the insult to Damian Priest has been his booking since the whole Judgment Day broke up. That's the insult. And that the fact that he closed the book on his feud with the Judgment Day, and he got moved to another brand. Not them. He got moved to the other brand. That's the insult. What are we talking about here? And I was like, there's nothing to this. If my coworker was like, oh, well, Priest cashed in Money in the Bank on him, and then he eliminated him from the Royal Rumble. That's a lot of build to this. I was like, no one cares. No one cares. That feels minor to Drew. I was like, I'm at the point where like I'm trying to finish up my prediction card for WrestleMania for Sports Illustrated, and I'm like, I said it in the Weeds the other day. I was like, at this point, we could put him against like Aleister Black. At least it's a guy from AEW it's at least going to be something memorable. It's a guy coming over from AEW, making his return, facing Drew McIntyre. It puts him on a position that makes him feel like he's wrestling a top guy. So he's going to feel like a top guy if he gets the win. And with Drew, he's facing somebody that is going to have something memorable to the show. He's basically Seth Rollins 2022. Basically where Seth was before the Cody match at WrestleMania 38. It's like that's better than Damian Priest, honestly, at this point.
I as much as I was shitting on Drew, telling him to get over it, I do feel bad for him. Like, he just had a splendid year. That's an all-time year he just had. The feud of the year of Punk, the Hell in a Cell. Essentially, Punk's hurt for half the fucking year, and it's still the WWE feud of the year by a mile. And then
he was the best on the mic, the best promo in the company last year.
And then my reward is Damian Priest. Like, I would be upset. Yeah, I know Big Man Dog hurts my fucking soul. But my reward is Damian Priest. My reward is somebody who's less than the last thing I did. I should be going up. Now, it's hard to go up from Punk because Roman has no interest in Drew. But Damian Priest is a bit down. That's all. No disrespect. Damian's talented. No disrespect. But come on, man. He gets a schoolboy and puts his foot in the ropes to beat Damian Priest in 9 minutes of WrestleMania. Good Lord, ill.
I was like, that does nothing for Drew. I was like, this match. I was like, it's a nothing match because it does nothing for Drew. It does nothing for Priest. It's not very creative. It's like the Royal Rumble elimination is just tacked on to make it a feud and doesn't feel natural. We've already seen it before.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness to Drew, or the Triple H rather, only thing up from Punk is Cody or Roman, right? Like, that's not happening. Sorry. So you just have to deal with whatever's left. I'm not entirely sure what to tell you.
I mean, I thought Priest was great like 6 months ago, and then that Judgment Day vortex like sucked up all the aura from him.
It lasted it lasted way longer than it should have. I don't know.
No one feels the same after that shit, yo. Like, it's crazy. Yo, like, am I the only one? Like, even though she gets a big pop every time she comes out, I don't feel like Rhea Ripley has said anything in like 6 months.
Yeah,
like actually said anything.
That's true. So if we did like a scorecard, Rhea's the only one that's fine. Everybody else is taking that you can argue Liv is fine too.
Yeah, she still gets a good reaction, and she just put on probably her best match since she won the title, probably against Io on Raw.
Yeah. This Judgment Day thing is so nothing. They really don't give a fuck. I'm sorry,
they
just don't. I don't understand the thought process behind anybody in the group. Finn Balor's supposed to be this fucking genius. Yeah, he can't see Liv Morgan's taking this group over. He can't see that. He's just hanging. Really?
I mean, Finn, when he came out with that music in the Rumble, oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, right, you are here. Oh, my bad. Finn, world champion, my bad.
Shit. I was like, Finn Balor just got no pop in the Royal Rumble. Oh Oh shit!
My bad. God
Say,
damn.
this is a sad day. A sad day for humanity.
Yeah, throw that whole thing in the garbage. Goddamn shame.
Big Man Doug says Drew metamorphosis into early 2010 CM Punk.
Oh, poor bastard. 4th match on the card, world champion. This a bitch? The fuck?
Oh my god.
He needs to start going off. God. Shake the boat. I think he's big enough star now where he can shake the boat without any major repercussions.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's what he was trying to do with his whole outburst.
That's not enough, sir. That's not really it. You got to do more than that.
Yeah, because we actually needed the reports to confirm that it was legit because you've done this before in a way to work. You've already worked us in this way, so we can't buy into it. We needed the reports to confirm that you were serious because we didn't. But it was the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, ooh, that's really good. Yeah, poor Drew. Yeah, but hey, it worked out last time, big time.
It did. It did. So hopefully this does too. Annika says if they can wait, Priest versus Jacob Fatu would be hot. They did have good chemistry together on SmackDown, but it did feel like a SmackDown feud.
Yeah.
Like not something that's gonna be paid off at like a WrestleMania or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think the only way Fatu gets a singles match at this year's WrestleMania is him versus Solo.
Oh, would you have Jacob be the face?
I mean, yeah, I probably would. Knowing WWE, they'll probably make Solo the face.
I mean, Solo's got some charisma to himself, but Jacob's so over already. That's a bad idea.
Yeah,
bad idea.
I felt like Solo was at his best when he was the Street Fighter in NXT, like on his own. As far as that,
maybe you do a tag match, Solo and Jacob versus somebody. I feel like that's the start of it instead of the end of it.
So you don't think Jacob's gonna turn on Solo?
Maybe after that match, if the Solo fails to win the fucking tag titles off of one of those fucking tag teams been fighting forever.
King Potato says Rhea is boring as fuck, still feuding with the Judgment Day.
Nothing about Rhea Ripley is boring.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, why are we doing this again? I was like, and then they did a good job of building Rhea and Io, but I feel like that's the chamber match.
All right, listen. I know you're trying to think
you got so upset.
Rhea and Io is the Mania match. We all know this. I called this months ago. That is the big match. I don't know how it works out. Maybe a last chance fucking thing or another. What the fuck? Chamber's never loaded, right? You're gonna do Rhea and Io, and you're gonna do a fucking Sammy and KO, and a fucking Punk and Cena and Seth and them in the Chamber. You're not gonna do all that at once.
That's 4 matches. That's 4 matches.
Do all that at once.
That's just 4 matches. Yeah, you do those 4 matches.
It'll be Tiffy versus Nia Jax. I've been very disappointed in Nia Jax's booking, by the way. I felt like her losing the women's championship to fucking her underling. Your reaction should be that you're next to 3 other people. Shouldn't you be on a fucking rampage? Shouldn't you be trying to murder this fucking blonde-headed lady? Oh, well.
It was like, oh, let's have her challenge for the other title.
What? Huh?
Wait, does that make sense? Was there seriously no other heel we could have put in this position to lose to Rhea?
Right?
All right. Cool. LaRon says NXT needs male stars. Maybe Drew can go there, help revitalize that division. Will you stop?
What? Yeah. I'm going to send Triple H down. Fucking revitalize fucking OVW. What the fuck are you talking about? One of the 5 biggest motherfuckers in this place. Go down to NXT. You outside of your skull? Absolutely not. He might choke Triple H.
Are you outside of your ever-loving mind?
What? NXT.
Next up, we get Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. He's out to the ring. He immediately starts going in on geriatric Jeff Jarrett, who couldn't stay out of the way of a handsome star like MJF, which is why he had to teach him a lesson. The E in AEW stands for elite, not elderly, which popped MJF. He says, I'm hilarious. Now that Carney schmuck is out of his way, he's closer to regaining his triple B because he ain't no one on the level of but in comes Max Caster, MJF's former best friend, if you remember that angle. He rushes to the ring. MJF starts berating him, telling him to get out. Caster just keeps yelling at him, Hangman, Hangman, Hangman. Out comes Hangman Adam Page with his music and all. MJF is not pleased to see Hangman Adam Page once again. They stare down for what is like third, fourth week in a row, and Hangman leaves out to rush out after Caster. We get MJF, who says that before he was interrupted by that talentless hack, ain't no one on the level of the music of Dustin Rhodes hit. And out comes the natural. MJF demands his music cut off. He says Rose then demands MJF shut his trap, as all he does is run his mouth and badmouth everyone in the back, degrade them, and even those who are no longer with us, you degrade, like Owen Hart. Rose suggests MJF keep Owen's name out of his damn mouth before he kicks his teeth in. Stop talking about people's wives. Stop talking about sobriety issues, which is what Rhodes has done for the last 16 years. Rose crawled out of hell and kicked the devil's teeth in. You're not the devil. There's a reason he's still here at 55 years old, hanging with everyone on this roster. Is because he's a survivor. He's the last of his kind. He survived everything MJF could imagine. He's been through it, boy. Rose wants MJF to know when he's gone, the mold will be broken forever. He is better than MJF, and his punk bitch ass knows it. MJF calls timeout. He applauds Rhodes for his promo and said that being a worthless drug addict must have turned his brain to Swiss cheese to make him believe that he's better than MJF. He says, Dustin Rhodes, what will you be remembered as? Well, it took Dustin Rhodes 37 years to get out of his father's shadow. But you know what's the sad part? Now he lives in the darkness of the shadow of his little wiggy baby brother. Rhodes then decked MJF. Security rushed the ring as these two men start brawling. Rhodes broke through. He got in a few more shots. MJF says he'll retreat. He says he's leaving. When he broke through the security, he comes into the ring and he kicks Dustin Rhodes right between the legs. Christopher Daniels went to tell MJF to get to the back when MJF was about to throw a punch, but then he realized it was Daniels and he chuckled and he says, "Oh, old man, Hangman did a whole number on you." This whole segment, man, they did a good job of making me at least want to see a TV match between MJF and Dustin Rhodes. Dustin Rhodes had exactly the response that Jeff Jarrett should have gave us instead of calling everybody, every woman in MJF's life a call girl. You talk about everything you've been through. You be the baby face. You say you fight through. I'm different than you. I'm better than you. I'm not ducking anything like you always do. That's how you are supposed to respond as a babyface. That was not a babyface response from Jeff Jarrett a few weeks ago. That's why probably Dustin was the right choice if you're going to do veteran or legend against MJF right now. You probably should have gone with Dustin Rhodes because there's so much material to basically go to because of their history with Cody Rhodes as well. But we did get later in the show backstage, Dustin Rhodes said for 37 years people have tried to put him in the ground and he's the last of his kind around for a reason. Next Tuesday night, he meant Wednesday when it airs, but it's gonna be taped on Tuesday. He said his backyard in Austin, Texas, he's going to beat MJF's bitch ass. Dynamite will be taped on Tuesday, but it will air on Wednesday. So just to specify, Dustin fucked up. But like I said, I thought Dustin did well here. The segment was good. Maybe a little long in the tooth, doing the little setup with Hangman into the Dustin Rhodes stuff. But I did like Dustin's promo, and I loved MJF's response. And I loved the teasing and the seeds being sowed for MJF versus Hangman with Christopher Daniels coming out at the end. What did you think?
We're getting into Chad Gable fucking Alpha Academy territory. How many times we're going to see the motherfuckers go face to face and then stare at each other? I got it. I get it. They're going to fight eventually. Could we not? I'm with you. That felt very. I sent you a gift. It felt very Vince Russo to me. That's Vince Russo. Something ridiculous early, then comes out later and say, all right, sure, whatever you say. But I didn't hate it. Dustin annoys me. He's a good promo, but he comes across significantly more arrogant than you would think an old-timey babyface should. He can hang with anybody in the locker room. Huh? What do you mean exactly? No, that is certainly not true. And you can say bitch or shit or whatever the fuck you say to get a pop into your promo. It just feels desperate to me. I really do enjoy Dustin Rhodes. Was he better than Jeff Jarrett? Sure. But that wasn't difficult. Yes. The rest of next week?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm down. Please and thank you.
Yeah, I hope they moved on from the Jeff Jarrett MJF angle, honestly.
Feels like it, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. But I'm okay with that.
Would you be shocked if fucking Jeff Jarrett shows up at the end of next week's match and sends a guitar on MJF's head?
No, I wouldn't be shocked. That seems like what we're gonna get. now that you mention it, seems like that's what we're gonna get. I want MJF versus Hangman at Revolution, but it makes at the back of my head, I'm like, are we gonna get MJF versus Jarrett at Revolution?
Oh, what's that? The Revolution Dynasty?
Yeah.
I don't know. Good lord. What's MJF doing? Another motherfucker just going with the flow. Jeff Jarrett, Dustin Rhodes. He got his check. He don't give a fuck. What the fuck? Please. Though he has felt more invested the last couple of weeks to me.
Yeah.
MJF feels like he's back on track.
And MJF does have the ability to make a non-title feud feel like the main event feud.
He does.
We got King Potato who says the way MJF described Hangman was very Hollywood of him. I wonder if the recent movie roles have inspired him to go for a more Hollywood actor gimmick. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, I didn't get those vibes. But you might be on something.
Yeah, maybe onto something. Aesthetically wise, the glasses does scream Hollywood actor.
It's a nice change of pace. I like it.
It does. We got another super chat donation here. This time from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support.
Fucking go.
Chuck Berry says, remember the angle in 2009 with Chris Jericho disrespecting the old veterans? I'd rather see MJF in that type of angle with Double J and Dustin. Let's get Mickey Rourke involved too. Stop this, SMH.
I'm not against that. How did that end? With like a handicap match?
Yeah, it was like a gauntlet match with Piper, Snuka, and then Steamboat against Jericho. And then the post-match angle was Mickey punching Jarrett. Punching Jericho.
That part's not so great, but that's pretty creative. Drew could use some of this type of creativity right now. Like, I've earned
Yo,
it.
that's another. We're gonna describe top heels. We need to remember top heels who had nothing to do at WrestleMania in history. Jericho in 2009, that fits the bill. Seth in 2022, that fits the bill. Kevin Owens to a lesser point because they didn't figure out the Austin thing until like January. Remember Austin, the Austin news and Cody news happened like simultaneously, like within a week of each other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what MJF's in a weird spot because he's one of the two big stars in the company, but he's not even the top heel right now because of Moxley. So he's kind of just left doing a bunch of nonsense. I don't know how much longer I can take this. When is Darby coming back?
Summer.
Oh,
yeah, it's a while. It's a while.
Oh.
It's a long time. In a long time. LeBron King. Thank you so much, Chuck Berry. We need one more super chat donations to hit our goal for today. So thank you guys. Laurent says 2 belts Dustin annoys me too. And why are all these old guys getting TV time on Dynamite next week? Because this week was good, so they had to.
Tony Khan loves his toys, even if they're old and broken. What the fuck? It's Dustin Rhodes.
But who outside of Dustin is old that's going to be on next week's show? Is he counting the Hurt Syndicate?
Oh, well, they are old. That doesn't count.
They are old, but they're cool.
Yeah. Who else on that show?
Yeah, that's the only 2 matches announced: is Hurt Syndicate versus the Guns and Dustin versus MJF.
Grand Slam too, with Copeland and every week there are a lot of old motherfuckers on the show.
Yeah, there is. But that's just having a balance. It can't be all young niggas too. Gotta have some old niggas. Jesus.
I don't need Dustin Rhodes though. I ain't gonna hold him. Sorry.
No, I don't need Dustin Rhodes either. I am. If you watch me over on the Fightful main channel reviewing Ring of Honor, Dustin Rhodes is one of like the people that I dislike the most in wrestling right now. But I am at least, I need to be objective as a reviewer of the show and can't deny that last night was a good showing for him.
Yeah, it's a solid promo. Good work. No. Now go ahead, have a match where you do all these stupid flips that look awkward, but people can say it's amazing because you're old.
I'm fine with old dudes on the show when it's good. Like when Jarrett was involved in the Owen Hart Cup and was doing the elder statesman gimmick with Brian, giving him pep talks and stuff like that. That's good usage of Jeff Jarrett to me. Not what they were doing with this whole going after the AEW world title stuff.
Agreed.
And finally, we got our 10th super chat donation. Thank you so much, Laurent. You are awesome. Appreciate you, good brother. He says, heading to a meeting. Let's hit your goal for super chats. I'll finish listening later. Thank you, Laurent. We appreciate you, good brother. Thank you so much for the support.
You don't know shit.
You certainly do not. Don't say anything during that meeting, sir. I don't care what they ask. Don't say anything. Just nod, smile.
You're mean. We get up next. Mariah May, our AEW Women's World Champion, comes out on for commentary for our next matchup as her challenger for the AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Toni Storm goes one-on-one with Queen Aminata. Queen Aminata got a good response from this Atlanta crowd, but it was nothing like what we were about to see. Justin Roberts gets on the mic and he announces, playing the role of Mariah May is Timeless Toni Storm. The music of Mariah May end theme hit again, and Timeless Toni Storm comes out with freaking extensions. The Mariah May's outfit as well. She's doing all the mannerisms to Mariah May. She looks almost identical during the entrance. It wasn't until like the light and stuff came up that you could see all the differences between Mariah May and Toni Storm. May herself was completely unamused, mockingly saying that she was flattered, demanding to know how Storm got this outfit after Excalibur reminded May that she did the same thing to Storm last year. Serena Deeb was shown watching backstage as Aminata tripped Storm in the ropes, but missed her charging running boot, allowing Storm to hit a hip attack, and launch Aminata to the outside. Storm took too long mocking May's mannerisms, allowing Aminata to hit a low pay, and she hit the timeless pose herself, controlling the action. Storm mounted a comeback as May grabbed her chest, asking Tony Schiavone, "What two things does Tony Storm is missing to truly be Mariah May?" I think she's missing two of these things, as she's holding her breast, and Schiavone refuses to answer. Storm hit a head scissors out of the corner. She went for the Mayday, but Aminata switched the legs before a jackknife pin for a near fall. Both ladies got to their feet, traded super stiff strikes until Aminata hit a snap German suplex. She set a sliding shin to the face. Storm's hair extensions are completely falling out at this point. They're all over the place. Aminata wanted an air raid crash, but Storm escaped. She hits a snap DDT. Charging knee, it's gonna be nay, and then she finishes it off with sweet cheek music and the Mayday for the 1, 2, 3. Mariah, timeless Tony Storm picks up the victory here, as Mariah May is not pleased in the least bit. Renee Paquette came into the ring to congratulate Storm on her victory. Storm said to call her Mariah May, and I'm the woman from hell, and there's not a woman alive who can touch her, as I'm standing on the neck of the AEW Women's Division. May herself left commentary as she's completely pissed at this point. She got on the apron as timeless Tony Storm extends her arms to give her a hug. May grabbed the AEW Women's World title as the fans, as they were standing across from each other, started chanting, "Which one's which?" Which was great. That popped me. Storm starts posing like Mariah May in the ring. This was my favorite part of this damn show.
What?
It's my favorite part of the show. I think timeless Toni Storm, her character work is just tremendous. For someone who was described as someone who didn't have a personality, for her to go from not having a personality to becoming one of the best characters in all of wrestling, especially when it comes to women's wrestling, the character work, the promo work, she's just top notch when it comes to that stuff right now. And this was just a great addition to the build for Grand Slam here. What did you think?
Yes, this was fun. This probably should have been the whole point. This should have been the genesis of this whole refeud. Because I gotta be honest, I'll be nice. We're gonna be nice today. We're not gonna shoot anything that happened in the past. This was good. Toni Storm was fantastic. Mariah May, as a petulant child, was pretty good herself. I ain't gonna hold you. Queen Aminata changing her hair during Black History Month is out fucking outrageous. To the straight blonde, this is some criminal shit here. But you know what? I'm not gonna swerve you. I'm gonna be nice. Whatever. You do what you want. It's your body and your hair. You can do whatever you fucking feel like it. Look fucking ridiculous. Anyway, I was gonna say. Why are you
so upset?
She's queen. Her name is Aminata. She walks around with these black dreads. She looks fantastic. And now she comes out with this blonde hair. Looks like fucking J-Lo or some shit. Looks terrible. Good Lord. Hey.
Like I said, J-Lo. God damn.
And that fucking, what's the name of that video where she fucking has that water splash down on her? That flash dance video she did. J-Lo hair. Good Lord. Yeah, this is fine. I'm looking forward to the match. The second match in the series. It probably should be the third, but we're not going to get into that. We're moving on. This was good.
What, you don't want to see a third match here? You just want it to end after this?
It's been way too long from the first match to the second.
Yeah. I agree with you there.
Yeah, it's cooled off tremendously. Because we need.
I think they brought it back though.
Australia.
They brought it back between the reveal and this angle here, where it's getting more. It feels like it's got more momentum behind it heading into next week.
We have Toni winning, I assume.
Yeah, definitely. You don't?
I do, but good lord.
Okay.
It's a failure of a title run, which it is. Love it, right, man.
Yeah. It is. It is. There's no denying that. It is a failure of a title reign through no fault of her own, even though. Like, that's the crazy part to me. Is I can't really blame Mariah May. Like, can I say Mariah May has been bad during this run? No. I can't say she's been bad. She hasn't had bad matches. She hasn't had, like, I feel like her worst promos were like after the heel turn more than it was like after she won the title. Her older promos were at least fine or like didn't have too much creativity behind it during her title.
Yeah.
Before the Toni restarted.
Yeah. It's been a complete
and the Mina stuff. The Mina stuff was good.
Yeah, it's just been a mess overall. I feel like if we take the Toni stuff and the Mina stuff and move that up 2 months, and then we come back to this feud now for the third match, I would all like it a little more. Instead, poor Mariah.
Poor Mariah. Oh, Mariah, we love you. You did well with what you were given. We got Big Man Dogs is kind of saying the same thing. He says, I can't believe people blamed Mariah's shit title run on her. Toni and Mariah are so good.
Right? Like, what the fuck? Well, somebody who absolutely hates Mariah May, he just comments whenever he gets a chance. I can't believe they put the belt on Mariah May. I'm just like, she's fantastic. This is shit. Don't you do about it.
Good, and yeah, and the match. This match was really good. Like the crowd was into Aminata. It was hard hitting with Aminata with that kick to the face. That's always so much fun when she hits that in a matchup. And then Toni was hitting those when she hit that drop kick just like Mariah May. She was hitting her moves just like her.
Toni Storm, is she AEW's biggest outside of MJF? I suppose. Is she their biggest success story? I mean, like this her.
I think I would give her the edge over Swerve as the best former WWE star turned AEW star.
Yeah. I'm talking about like for people who weren't a star before and are a star now. That's what I mean. I would agree.
Okay.
Toni fit that bill. Swerve, obviously. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my fucking head. Yeah, I'd say they run away with it.
Yeah.
And obviously, MJF. Not from WWE.
Darby.
Made Darby's a good one. At least he was. So he decided to climb fucking Mount Everest.
Hopefully he comes back. Hopefully please come back.
2% chance of death.
Hangman too. Because Hangman, he got exposure from New Japan and Ring of Honor, but he wasn't a star before AEW.
Right. Yeah. Hangman, I would agree with.
He's like the original star made in AEW.
Yeah, Moxley was a star already on a different name, but he's still a star. Yeah, I don't agree. That's solid. Listen, it's not great. We're missing Wardlow. We're missing Ricky Starks. We're missing Hobbs.
They had a chance for more. Yeah, they should have more on their list, but like those stars are relatively good. Because there's like you had a bunch that just like they had like good feuds or good program or good promo that got the momentum and they just never capitalized. I think the saddest one of people that they didn't like really go all the way with. I know you don't like him too much now, but Orange Cassidy, they should have paid off with that. Like he exceeded expectation twice. Like the original run was greater than they thought it would be, and then they got him even higher heights with the international title, and then fucked up everything after he lost it.
Yeah, that's a pretty big loss, especially considering how much you sacrificed to get him to that point. You just kind of give up. It's so weird. Yeah. Yeah, that's jarring.
Yeah.
We're never gonna get into the private parties and Daniel Garcia's of the world.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston.
I feel like Kingston's the type he could get back at any point. Like, and
It's
his
just one
story is
promo.
more about him losing. Like, it's about him losing and losing.
Yeah. Yeah, Eddie will be fine.
All it takes is like one promo to bring like Eddie Kingston back. Always, like always.
I miss Eddie Kingston.
Yeah. But we get a video package of the bad blood between Big Bill and Powerhouse Will Hobbs. They showed the brawl from Daly's Place a few weeks ago. They showed last week's Collision, where Bandito returned to help the Outrunners against the Learning Tree. This leads to our latest New York Minute with the Learning Tree. First ever live edition of the show. They're coming from Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, that's right. The big ALT. All Learning Tree, or as Brian Keefe says, stands for Appreciate Learning Tree. Jericho said he doesn't know how Bandito is the most wanted man, as no one wants him here. Jericho holds up the paper saying that there's a $100,000 bounty on Bandito's head. So since he's with the bounty hunter, he'll double the money so Brian Keefe can cash in and do to Bandito what Bill has done to Powerhouse Hobbs. Right as Bill went to speak, Powerhouse Hobbs' music hits and the fight is on. It's 3-on-1 initially with Hobbs fighting the Learning Tree until the Outrunners come out to even the odds. We get security coming out to try to separate these guys. You get Bill and Hobbs both have their hands on security. Each one of them demolished these security guards with choke slams on the floor. The Big Bill choke slam sounded like splat. It was disgusting. You get meat chants as they brawl briefly in the ring. It spills back outside where Hobbs tackles Bill over the commentary table. This was just look like so chaotic. The cameraman takes a bump as the fight continues and we go to commercial break. I was like, that was really well done. That was probably the best Learning Tree segment in a few weeks too. Look at this. This show is firing. We go backstage. We come back from commercial break. And backstage, they are kicking the Learning Tree out from the building, Hobbs and the Outrunners along with security. What did you think?
That was actually a really good segment. Hobbs and Big Bill works. I wouldn't have guessed that. I never said I would have guessed that. If you told me it was going to happen, I'd say it probably works. But I wouldn't have thought to put them together in the first place. And it's worked splendidly. Hobbs being on our list previously with Wardlow and Ricky Starks. I hope it works out this time. Got some real momentum here with Hobbs and Big Bill, for that matter. We got some here. Please don't fuck this up.
Please. We got Alexander Fitzgerald says, I hate the Learning Tree, but I'm loving the Big Bill and Hobbs feud. We also got King Potato who says the New York Minute graphic staying on the screen while Hobbs and Big Bill beat the shit out of each other was both annoying and funny at the same time. I found it hilarious. I was laughing the whole time. All right, main event time. It is Swerve Strickland going one-on-one with Ricochet. Swerve Strickland comes out first. He's wearing the Jimmy Rave embassy jacket, and out of nowhere comes Ricochet with a steel chair waffling Swerve during his entrance. This was shot great, as you never saw Ricochet coming, as we get more chair shots were delivered before Swerve was tossed in the ring. Strickland slapped Ricochet in the face and demanded the match begin. The bell sounded and Ricochet charged with a pump knee and then hit the vertical for a near fall. Ricochet stayed in control until Swerve tried a leapfrog, but he drop kicks him in midair, taking the fight to the outside. Ricochet follows with a low pay, and then they fought up onto the barricade. Ricochet tries to go for a snap Hurricane Rana on the barricade, but Swerve holds on and violently power bombs him right on the barricade. Ricochet sold this so well, selling the back and the spine. Things were turned to the ring. Ricochet kicked out Swerve's legs in the corner and then hit a lung blower for a near fall. He then both men slugged it out as Ricochet fired off a combo until Swerve cut him off, hit the wall rock from Ricochet, who hit a pump knee and then stood tall. Both men traded powerbomb attempts until Swerve reversed it and hit it a float over powerbomb into a power slam for a near fall. Ricochet grabbed the official. He tried for a mule kick, trying to low blow Swerve, but Swerve blocked it. Love the psychology of the matchup, which was really like every time Ricochet tried to do something like high flying in the ring, it would work out for him. Every time he tried to show that he was just as dangerous as Swerve, taking the fight to the outside or using one of the metal parts of the turnbuckle or trying to go for the low blow, it never worked out for him until we get to the finish, but we'll get there. We get Swerve hits a release German into a flatliner and then a house call flush. He then follows up with the Swerve stomp, but Ricochet is able to kick out just at 2.99. They go to the apron, and Ricochet floats over a DVD, whipped Swerve's neck back, and then right across the ropes. He tried for a hop over Hurricane Rana, but instead hits a release German suplex on the apron. He quickly recovered. Ricochet threw Swerve back inside, hits a springboard 450 for a near fall. He then goes to the top rope and hits a shooting star press, flat back right to the back, and Swerve still kicks out. Ricochet went for the spirit gun, but Swerve catches him with a house call in midair. He tries for another Swerve stomp that would have put Ricochet away, but Ricochet tries to block it by holding his fists up because he's scared of the stomp. But he gets his fist up and it low blows Swerve in the process of the stomp. The referee just allows it as it's obvious that Ricochet didn't intend to do this, but it works out in his favor. He follows up with the spirit gun right to the back of the head. 1, 2, 3. Ricochet defeats former AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland in his biggest match yet in AEW, his biggest win yet in AEW. Nana tried to come into the ring to tend to Swerve with the embassy robe, but Ricochet instead pushes down Nana, pie facing him. He takes the robe for himself. He puts it on and he celebrates up the ramp, the level of disrespect. Ricochet is feeling himself, but I love the finish as Ricochet, being a bitch, comes out and gets the win because of it. That was great. I loved it. I enjoyed that. What did you think?
Good match. Ricochet and Swerve have a tremendous amount of chemistry. Ricochet is significantly better than I thought he was. I thought he was a flippy guy, and he is a flippy guy, obviously. But he's got some more stuff to him. And it's worked out in AEW. His character work has been top fucking notch. I don't know how I feel about the jacket. What is it called?
The crown jewel jacket, the embassy robe.
I don't know about that being introduced at the beginning of the show and then paying off at the end. That's a quinky-dink. But hey, it was good. Overall, solid goddamn work for everybody involved.
I figured out what I really would have loved for them to do, and maybe they couldn't do it because that's probably the real robe that Jimmy Rave used to wear. But I was talking to Jeremy Lambert about Dynamite on In the Reads, and he was saying his one complaint is that he felt like they should have used the scissor in the finish. I like the finish, but I do agree that they should have used the scissors in some way as a follow-up to the initial attack. I would have loved if Ricochet took the robe and you get a new robe, a duplicate robe, and he cuts it up. Yeah, he cuts it. I think that would have been more impactful and being like it did. I understood what they were trying to get across because Ricochet said the line on Collision, "I haven't felt any threat from you since Hangman snatched your grill out," and now he's basically snatching his chain as well, taking the robe. So I understood the intent of it. That's cool, but I think it would have been more impactful if Ricochet destroyed the robe by cutting it up.
That actually would have been really cool. This worked mostly for me.
Yeah.
Ricochet looked entirely too small in that jacket. Hey, this was a fantastic Fantastic strong. This was a really good finish to a really good show.
Yeah, I thought the match was great. 2 great matches on this show. And yeah, this was the best Dynamite in a few weeks' time. But we got one more super chat donation here, but final call for super chat donations. If you want to show some love, show your support, you could do so with that. But we got one more right here from Genesis J. Thank you so much, Genesis J, for the support. As always, we appreciate y'all for that.
And Blackpool Combat Club, they better wear out Kenny as long as they can. Hangman's gonna come out here.
Lord, Steve
when
Austin.
they were in the rings with Jay White and it was Moxley and Claudio, he was doing those kicks. He was doing those style kicks. He was. I was like, I got you. I see you doing your little special there. But Genesis J says, got the win. Got the win. Man, what a turnaround for Ricochet.
Right? Shocking. Who would have thought?
This is a Christian Cage level turnaround.
All right, take it easy.
Ricochet. Christian Cage level.
This nigga hates windows. Always breaking them, jumping right out of them. Take it easy. Take it easy. Just said he's the most chicken shit heel ever. Come on, man. Take it easy.
That's true. We got Big Man Dogs who says Ricochet and Fletcher are the number 1 and 2 heels in AEW.
Oh, that's a hot take.
As far as heat, he might be onto something. I think Willa Yuta would probably be 3rd.
That's a fucking crime. Not wrong though. That's something to that. I assume we're not counting Don Callis.
Yeah, Don Callis probably be number 1. Everybody would have to go down.
Yeah.
We got Alexander Fitzgerald who says WWE couldn't even bring out the character in Ricochet. Props to AEW. I don't think it wasn't the WWE couldn't even bring out the character in Ricochet. They never cared to.
What the fuck is Frantic World? Has he been replaced by Alexander Fitzgerald? What the fuck is going on? How's that even a thought you had? Forget whether or not the thought is accurate or not. Why is that a thought in your head? Ricochet, he needed to be unleashed. Really? Is that what you were thinking when he was there? They need to let Ricochet unleash and be the fucking top level heel he needs to be. Good Lord.
Absolutely. What everybody was thinking, right? Am I wrong?
It's holding the great Ricochet back.
Yeah.
There's Flair, there's Rock, and there's Ricochet, obviously.
Absolutely. You get it now. You get it. To answer this question, Annika saying, why didn't they do this at Grand Slam, though? Grand Slam is really being booked as like a big show for the Australian acts. The Australian acts are booking that show mostly. But mostly this was also booked on this show, Swerve and Ricochet, is because there is a tradition in AEW of the first episode of February for Dynamite is usually either a great episode or has a memorable angle on it, dating back since the very beginning of the show. Even last year, 2024, the first episode of Dynamite of February had Darby and Sting winning the AEW World Tag Team titles, and that ended with the whole angle of the Young Bucks attacking Sting and his sons, and it also had Hangman versus Swerve 3, the 30-minute time limit draw. 2023, that was in Dayton, Ohio. You had Hangman versus Moxley 3. You had Joe versus Darby 3, with Joe winning back the TNT championship. You had Bryan Danielson knee deep in his whole basically earning his spot to face MJF for the Iron Man match at Revolution that year. 2022 is probably the most famous February Dynamite episode ever. That was Chicago, MJF versus CM Punk, the first time ever. 2021 was in Jacksonville. That had Kenta becoming the first New Japan star to compete in AEW, teaming with Kenny Omega to first Lance Archer and Jon Moxley. And in 2020, it was Huntsville, Alabama. That's the famous MJF Cody 10 Lashes segment. I think you muted yourself, sir. Or my earphones are not working. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's good. I like it on the show. First of all, you need a main event on every episode. I stand by that fucking statement. I don't care what anybody says. There should be a main event on every show. And I feel like AEW's done a good job of that recently. And by the way, Raw, they've always said they've had a main event every show on Netflix so far.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work. I'm really concerned about next week. I have no faith in Dynamite coming up, especially with Grand Slam so close. I have no faith, even a little bit. I'm expecting an ass show. Maybe an ass. We'll call it 6.5.
Last night was too good. Too good. I expect, my bar. I think my bar is at like 6.5, 7 at best.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not sure how you all feel, but to me, every show that you watch on not just wrestling, any show, should be between a 7.5 and 8.5 every week. Otherwise, you drop it like a bad habit. Unless it's wrestling, you stick around like a fucking idiot. But I stand by it. It should be expected 7.5 to an 8.5.
That's fair. That's fair. I'd say my bar is like at least a 7 for me to come back the next week, but that next week better not be a 7 again. We got Alexander who says Revolution is in a few weeks too, so they'll probably have a rematch there. Yeah, I like this match with Ricochet and Swerve so much because it's a great match, but you could tell they were holding back. They weren't giving us what they can really offer on like a pay-per-view level, which I think they should make that match probably some type of no DQ match. It should be like a bloody kind of to fit their feud.
Yeah, I'm not against that. Oh, good Lord. All those kickouts are going to fucking make me throw up. Lord. Made me throw up on this show. What the fuck? I don't know.
But let us know in the chat your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give last night's show? A couple of suggestions in the chat we'll get to shortly. But for me and Jimmy, for the February 5th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite, in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Jimmy, out of 10, what did you give the show?
8. To me, 8 is a very good show, and that's what this was. The Power Drive finisher. Coming through clutch. Took you long enough. Only took 2 hours and 20 minutes.
I'm going to give last night's show an 8.5 out of 10. I think that it had 2 great matches. A lot of the storytelling was very streamlined and focused on either building something for next week, building something for Collision, or building something for Grand Slam or for Revolution. So that is the type of shows we need from Dynamite every week. This company is struggling from a perception portion, struggling in a lot of business metrics. You just need to just keep putting on good to great shows to try to change that perception, though.
Oh, great. Let me write these names down. Genesis, SP3, Alexander Fitzgerald.
What, gave it above an 8?
People who just add shit,
Oh my God, this guy!
What else we got here? They been those 8.25. That's not bad. We'll let that slide.
Oh my God! Nicholas, get him out of here! Get him out of here!
These 3.
Jimmy, what was your match of the night?
Swerve Ricochet with relative ease.
I think it was close between. It was close between Callis family and Hounds of Hell. Definitely, that was a banger matchup. But I agree, Ricochet and Swerve was the best of the night. MVP for the show, I got to give it to Timeless Toni Storm.
I mean, I'm going to be non-biased. I'm going to think with my big head. I'm going to go with Harley Cameron, who was fucking splendid.
Fair. LVP for the show, Jimmy.
Ooh, I mean, I don't like Dustin Rhodes even a little bit. Shit. I think I might have to go fucking Dustin Rhodes. Oh, no. I got it. It's Hollywood Ospreay, obviously. Good Lord. Just all these bums popping out. You think these niggas are Samoans. Where are these niggas coming from? Good Lord. Enough, Hollywood. We get it. Got it.
I'm gonna have to give it to John Moxley, despite him picking up a good segment. He was in a good segment on this show. This man who beat 3 challengers at World's End turned down Adam Copeland for Revolution. So That's my LVP.
One leg, 55-year-old man. It's insane.
Jimmy, let everybody know where they can follow you on social media when they shall see you again.
You'll see me next week, assuming I don't die in the interim. No social media. I'm avoiding Twitter. There's too much shit on there. I'm gonna pass on that.
It is. It's a wasteland. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can see me live over on the Fightful main channel coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern time, reviewing tonight's Ring of Honor TV on Honor Club. I'll also be live tomorrow on Fightful Overbooked with Jeremy Lambert on the latest edition of In the Weeds, talking about tonight's ROH and TNA Impact and any news that drops in the early morning or anything tonight. We'll be talking about that as well. Join us for that. We'll also be talking about some NBA trade deadline because me and Jeremy love the NBA. And this is the generational. This is the greatest NBA trade deadline of all time.
Oh my God.
All time. Wait, tell me a greater NBA trade deadline than this week.
Greater as in a spectacle? Greater as in a criminal, you mean?
Criminal spectacle, however you want to describe it. The best.
Somebody arrest these cocksuckers. This is egregious.
But I will be back here live tomorrow.
Jerry West, Wilt, Kareem, Magic, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, Luka. This is not a conspiracy. This is not a conspiracy.
Yeah,
this is not a conspiracy.
Yeah. I will be back here live tomorrow for NJPW, the New Beginning in Osaka preview with myself, NJ News. So join us for that. For Jimmy Macram, it is.
Wait a minute, what's called back? Is the brother from Fightful? Is he back yet? Is he still hiding?
He did put out a post when Punk had a great match on Monday. He put out a little wine emoji.
No friend.
He's a Punk fan.
Cocksuckers. Yeah, you know he was gonna avoid today's show. Motherfucker. Damn it.
Boy, Jimmy back.
You one of them motherfuckers? What do you think about that match? Oh, Sammy Carey. Come on now. Knock it off. Motherfucker been to shit. Where you been? Austin, Flair, Punk, Dragon. All time. Show some fucking respect in this bitch. Good Lord. Sorry.
Been a good week for your TV matches between that and the two matches on this show. Like, good week. Good week. Some 3 great matches this week. So let's see if SmackDown, let's see if Impact ROH can bring some as well. Yes, SmackDown 3 hours. We need a few great matches for SmackDown. But for Jimmy Macram, it is me, your trio phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble episode 184, and the Emmy goes to reviewing the February 5th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite. We are signing off until next time.